Hi students, this is Miss Oberly, and today we are going to look at solving linear equations. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to solve any type of linear equation that we've studied so far. So quick review, if we're trying to solve x minus 7 equals 16, solve means to get x alone. So to find the value of x. So to get x alone, we'd have to undo this negative 7. So I'd add 7 to both sides. So x equals 23. Now what if we have a situation like this where we have a negative t equals negative t, I should say, over 8 equals negative 7. Well, remember, you can put the negative wherever you want. So in this case, I think it's easier to keep the negative with the number. So I'm actually going to move the negative down with the 8. So again, when we're solving, that means to get the variable alone, in this case to get t alone. So to undo division by negative 8, I'm going to multiply by a negative 8. Remember that negative carries with. And if we do it to one side, we know we have to do it to the other side. So we are left with t equals, and a negative times a negative is a, you got it, positive. So we have t equals 56. And example 3, again, if we just have a fraction, whoops, this one is missing its variable. Let me edit that quick. Alright, so we have 3/5 x, and some people like to put that in parentheses, equals negative 8. So to undo multiplication by a fraction, remember we multiply by that fraction's reciprocal. So I'm actually going to go in and multiply both sides by reciprocal of 3/5, which is 5/3. And I'm going to do it to both sides. So what happens is we have 15 over 15, which is just 1. So 1x or x on the left side, and on the right side we end up with negative 40 in the numerator, because negative 8 times 5 is negative 40 divided by 3. And I like to leave my answer as a fraction. We got another little error. I'm not awake yet, apparently. Now what if we have an equation where we have a variable on both sides? What does it look like to solve that? Well, remember that just means we want to get all of the y's to one side and then get them alone. So I like to always move the smaller of the two. So I'm going to move the positive 6y. So to undo positive 6y, I'm actually going to subtract 6y from both sides. And while I'm at it, if I'm getting all the y's to the left side, I want to get all the regular numbers to the right side. So I'm going to undo a positive 8 from both sides. So I'm left with 6y. The 8's cancel here, equals, the 6y's cancel. Negative 5 minus 8 more is negative 13. And to get y alone, we know that we need to undo multiplication by 6, so we'll have to divide by 6. So y equals negative 13 divided by 6. Now, one step that I've really missed on all of these examples is, how do you know if you're right? We did it. I mean, do you just go to the teacher and ask, am I right, Miss Oberly? Am I right, Miss Gifford? And the answer is no. Remember, we take this number and we plug it back in for all of the y's in the equation, and we check to make sure both sides end up being equal. I'm not going to model plugging in a fraction for you right now, just for the sake of time, but in this case, we could just check 56 by plugging 56 in for t. So we would have negative 56 divided by 8, and that is negative 7. So that is your quick review of solving linear equations.